Boom, boom, boom. We are live, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to Red TV in Conversation. I'm Peter Clark, and hey, I'm so excited you're here with me today. Thank you for joining me, you right there. If you are joining me for the very first time, thank you and welcome. Super appreciate that. If you're coming back to see it again, you already know what you're in for. So I even appreciate that just as much or even more. Oh my goodness gracious. Ooh, Peter's pumped today. Everybody. Hey, listen, I'll just throw this up. I don't like promoting myself, but I'm going to do it because I've been having people tell me, listen, Peter, you need to embrace yourself. So I'm trying my best. Here we go. Please like and share with your network if you like what I do and all that kind of stuff and blah, blah, blah. Okay? If that works for you, that works for me. Peter is pumped today. I'm so pumped today because, you know, I've been meeting some really cool people in my life, and they're just showing up. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I don't know what's going on. I'm just excited that it's happening. And this fine young man over there just showed up. I don't know how. I don't know where. I kind of do know how, through Clubhouse. And if you don't know what Clubhouse is, Google Clubhouse audio app. Really interesting application where you can meet some amazing people, all just through audio. So I met this beautiful soul, and I was listening to this room, and I was leaning in as if I was like there. I was leaning in, listening, and I was just lost in it. I was like, wow. And then my heart was starting to open up, and it was like, it's kind of like the Grinch thing. It started to hurt. I was like, wow, he's talking to me. So, hey, listen, we got so much to cover. We got to talk about this. As opposed to a big introduction, I'm just going to give you his top 12 fun facts real quick, and you'll get a sense of who this guy is. Okay, he hitchhiked around the world. Okay, I'll tell you number one. Left the seminary before he became a rabbi, one day before. Get that, right? How cool is that? Walked away from running like a multi-billion, trillion-dollar business. Saw the Beatles live. I mean, come on, how many people can talk about that? That's fantastic. Eaten in the finest restaurants. Lived as a monk for 10 years. I mean, come on. I mean, seriously. Met the, people he's met in his life remind him of the characters in the Mosaic. We're going to be talking about the Mosaic, which is a book and a kind of a movement. It's a kind of a thing. It actually is not just a book. It's kind of a thing. So we'll learn more about that. Gave away all of his money to the poor. I mean, how cool is that? Really believes that we're all connected. As a child, he played with a friend that no one else could see. That was probably me, just so he doesn't know. That was probably me. As a child, he played with a friend, so that was me. I super appreciate that. I love this part here where he says, he is the most unlikely person to ever write a book. If he had it his way, he'd be in a cave in the Himalayas next to mine, just so he knows that, next to mine. And heaven is not what he thought it was. Let that sink in for a couple seconds, everybody. Listen, without further ado, I just got to bring on this brand new spirit. I'm so excited to chat with him. I can't stand it here. And I'm going to try to say his name right because I think I've been saying it wrong, and this beautiful soul has never corrected me on it. But I'm going to try it right now. Here we go. Daniel Levin, how are you?
Hey, you got it right. And there is no way to say it wrong. It's just a name. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, man, look at that big smiley face. This is the first time we've met. I can't stand it. It's just so cool.
I feel like I've known you for 1,000,000 years, my friend.
Oh, probably have. I've sat in your rooms, and the way you seem to be connected, you probably have seen me somewhere else. And I'm not there yet, Daniel. We'll talk about that. I'm not there yet, but I just so love the fact that you are taking the time to be here today with me. I just want to put up a couple things for people how to connect with Daniel right away. Let's start with that because I know, Daniel, this is going to be so different for you, and I just hope you just ride this wave. Just sit on the board, go right to the beach with it. He never talks about himself. He doesn't want to promote himself. So I'm going to do that all today for him. If you're on LinkedIn, please go right there. You can find a little bit more about Daniel, and also along the bottom there, the mosaiconline.com is probably the best site to go to, and you can really get a good feel about that. We'll bring that up in a second. We'll talk more about that. Always got to start, my fine friend. Hey, those 12, they were close, right? I try to read them off as much.
I love those 12. I've forgotten about some of those 12. I love that they're there.
Right? It's nice to remind yourself of where you've been, what you've done, and all that. Hey, listen, I got to start always with, how are you? Everything okay? You and your family? Everyone good and safe and healthy?
Yeah, everywhere we're definitely safe and healthy. We're going through our own episodes of life. We are moving, and the house that we're in, I've lived in for 18 years. And
Wow.
the new owners just found an inspection. They found some black mold, which we thought were going to be little areas because it's by the beach. It turned out to be the whole kitchen area. So our kitchen is now in our living room. Thank God my wife is with her mom far away, and hopefully we'll have some of it put together before she gets back.
So stress levels are down then. Right?
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me and the dog. So
I love it. Yeah, I was going to ask you, hashtag, what's going on? Is everything good?
Hashtag is fabulous. He misses his mom. He's a mama's boy, but he's when he hears her voice, he gets so excited.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
what's really interesting, he hears her voice on the clubhouse room, and he looks out the window. He runs to the door, and I thought, wow, that's just how I am. Like, I hear the voice of my beloved, and I go running, looking, where is she? Where would she be? And I can never see her really, but
I totally relate to that. I have someone like that in my life too, so I totally relate to that. And by the way, I love the energy of a dog. I lost a dog I had for 16 and a half years, about 7 years ago. And my heart is still kind of a little cracked. Got a crack in it still. I just love dogs, and anyway, animals, another thing. And I know you have a sensitivity, not just humans, but humanity itself, and of course animals and planet and all those kinds of things. Well, I already, listen, I just want to tell everyone right up front, there's so many comments coming in. I mean, it's inundated with comments. I'm going to do my best here, just so that and Daniel, just so you know, it's just me here. It's not like we have a whole studio here or anything. So that's why I can't read everything and everybody's comments, but oh my goodness, the people that are here, just unbelievable. I'm going to throw a few up for everyone. Daniel, for you see these and a follow up. Tim, always good to see you. Thank you for supporting. And listen, here's super appreciate that. Melody, love the accent. Melody has been in your room a couple times, and she's got that beautiful Boston accent. I can't do it right, but I just love her to death. It's fantastic. And Kenneth, good to see you. He throws all this up here. Wow. The savor, the flavor, awesomeness. Anyway, listen, I'm going to go back and thank all of you guys for all of these beautiful comments and so on. Let me go down a few more here. Bill is in the house. Good to see you, Bill. Andrea, Daniel, Andrea, Daniel. Andrea is another good soul in this world who's trying to use her platforms for good.
I think I'm going to talk with her tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. So we were supposed to get together last week, but something came up, and so we weren't able to do it.
You're lucky to be speaking with her. Well, vice versa too. But I just like her from Houston, Texas. I mean, how do you beat that? Everything's bigger.
I'm always
in Texas.
More lucky than somebody else, so I always think I'm the lucky one.
There you go. Hey, Gabe, good to see you. Gabe is another live streamer and here on LinkedIn and things like that. Let's all look at this guy, Rob House. You talk about a guy who's kind of connected to the earth. That guy right there, through music. He plays music and he inspires people and all that kind of stuff. Good to see you, my friend. I just want to throw out some throats here. There's so many people here. And Joanne, we're going to do something later on special. We're going to hold some space with Daniel, and I want to make sure that we're going to hold a lot of space for you, my beautiful, because Joanne is have a battle of her life right now, Daniel, and she's hanging in there, and she inspires me every day. So we're going to send you some positive energy today. That is for sure. Michael Ray, gotta like Michael Ray down in Louisville, Kentucky. This guy's rock star as well, just so you know. Has a beautiful daughter with Down syndrome. Her name is Maddie Moo, and he uses his platform for smiles, sharing smiles around the world, Daniel. So he's tuning in to the right time, meeting the right people. Listen, I see all you guys there. Love this. And listen, hey, Ed Limon, love you back. It's just appreciate that, brother. It's all cool. Ed Limon is a creative guy himself as well, Daniel. So look, so many people here excited to see you. As you can hear in my tone, I'm just a little excited too, just so you know. Hey, listen, let's talk about, this is going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard for you, but I'm going to push you. You don't talk about yourself. So for context purposes, just for context purposes of people that are tuning in, and I'm hoping that we're introducing you to somebody that needs to know who you are. Can you just even try? Yeah. Hopefully that's the case. Well, let me ask you, if I was just to ask about Daniel, And I know you'd like talking about in the I am, so I know that and stuff. But let's just talk about, let's pretend we're really just at the pub somewhere, and I just say, Daniel, kind of what do you do in your own words? What do you do? And I'm going to bring up your website so that people see. But kind of what do you do? What do you kind of do? I'm not talking for money. Just talking about like, what do you do, my fine friend?
It's changed so many times over the course of my lifetime. I often wish that I had a life where I grew up and I lived 4 blocks from where my parents were. My childhood friends were my same friends. I went into my dad's business and I just would have been the same guy that I always was. I am the same guy that I always was, but it's been through a circuitous route of a lot of different lifetimes of this in this lifetime.
Yeah.
I've been with some of the richest people in the world, not in their lecture halls, but around their dining room tables. I've sat on the floor and played with their children, or sat and had drinks with their parents. And they've been kind enough to ask my counsel from time to time, and even kinder to give me counsel. And I've also sat with the poorest of the poor. I've walked with them in India, beside them. People that looked like beggars but walked with the regalness of a prince or a queen. I've sat on street corners on cardboard boxes with some of the poorest of the poor. And what always ached me inside me is that we separate people so often. We separate by religion and color of skin and income and education and what region of the world we're from, what border we live behind. It's easy to separate people. We do that all the time. What I wanted to know was there a common theme that ran through the life of everybody? And so I asked. I've had probably, my wife said millions, and I said, yeah, I've probably had millions of conversations, because I can't walk past somebody without saying, hi, how are you? Mm. And I just start dialogue with people, and I listen to people. The 3 things that I found every single person wants, no matter how much money they have or don't have, no matter what color their skin, no matter what religion they practice, no matter what border they live behind, no matter how big their house or how torn their cardboard box. Everyone wants to be loved and accepted. Everyone wants to be listened to and heard. And everybody wants to be acknowledged and validated. I haven't found anybody that doesn't want those 3 things. And so I thought, in a world, a life of service is a life that you give people what they want. So I thought, would it be possible for me to give that to people? And I realized it's the easiest thing in the whole world. That's not hard to do. It's way harder to fight somebody on what they believe than to acknowledge them for believing what they believe. It's way harder to hate somebody than it is to love somebody. It's way harder to block somebody off. It takes energy to block somebody off. It doesn't take any energy to listen to what someone's saying. And so I decided I was going to devote my life to just those 3 things. And Peter, I can't tell you how miraculous the result of that has been. Because when people feel loved and accepted and listened to and heard and acknowledged and validated, they start to feel safe. When they feel safe, the walls around them come down. And when the walls around you and the walls around me come down, that's that old saying that intimacy is really into me see. When I allow you to see into me, and you allow me to see into you, suddenly, and I don't know how this happens. I'm like the stupidest person in the whole world in this regard.
No,
I have no idea.
Just so you know, you're not. Just so you know.
Thank you. But I think I am, because I have no idea how it happens, but people get healed. I mean, literally, illnesses go away. Relationships repair. Business opportunities come where there were no business opportunities. Finances improve. I just sit there and watch and wonder, because it's the easiest thing to do in the world.
Yeah, well, you do it so well, my friend. Let me just see. You see, everybody. I just want to share. Listen, first of all, fills my heart every time you talk. Just love just love that big, beautiful face of yours. But yeah, again, I'm going to put it up. I'm going to show your website anyway. But listen, I just everything you just said, so resonated with me because I heard this before, and I try to give credit where credit is due. I heard it, I guess, from Oprah, but I know she took it from an old African sort of theme or an idea, which is, do you see me, do you hear me, and do I matter? And that's what everyone's asking themselves, right? Do you see me, do you hear me, and do I matter? And just what you just said, those three things, everyone wants those things. They want to be heard, they want to be validated, they want to feel that they're part of something bigger than them. So speaking of something bigger than them, I'm gonna do as I said, because I know that you won't do it, and if you won't do it, I'm gonna do it for you right now. We're going to just bring up let me just have a look here. Here's the website, everybody. So I just want you to go out and make sure you connect with Daniel here. There's the beautiful website. Let me make some room so that people can see that, Daniel. And there's the Mosaic. Now, this is a fantastic thing. I mean, we're going to talk. I want to hear it from you. This is what I'm so passionate about, to hear, the Mosaic change formula and a little bit about the Mosaic mission statement, because I want people to understand this is a big thing. It's not just a book, by the way, everybody. It's not just a book, but I will shamelessly do this for him, and I have no problems whatsoever, because again, we're trying to enlighten people and change lives here. So the Mosaic, there's the book. You can order it directly through here, but you can also connect through Amazon. So you can also connect it on Amazon, but of course, go right to the source if you can and buy the book. So let's talk about that a little tiny bit. I know that you won't, and I love where you're going. You know, I'm going to push you a little bit today. So I just wanted to tell you that.
You're welcome. I'll go wherever you want.
Let's talk about the Mosaic change formula. I just love that idea. Just can you kind of just condense that for us, for some people who might tune in and just kind of try to understand what you're getting at there with that, about our stories of our lives and so on?
Yeah, it's so easy. I mean, one of the things that I like about what came, and part of the reason I think that it came that way, is I think the one that's greater than me understands my limited capacity. And so she makes it so easy for me to understand, because I can't understand complicated things that much. And so what I realized is our thoughts, my thoughts, turn into my words. What I think about, I speak about. My words become my stories. And I tell so many stories. I'm a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
I tell a lot of stories. And my stories create my life. When I look at any one of those ingredients, and I change any one of them, if I change my thoughts, my words will change naturally. It's not like I have to think about how do I do it. My words will no longer be able to be the words that I used to say, because my thoughts were different. I remember sitting with Wayne Dyer at lunch one day, because I helped bring him to Hay House, and so he and I were friends for a little while.
Oh, love that guy. Just so you know.
He's a good guy.
Ah.
We used to have fun. I used to tease him a lot, because I was one. Everybody goes and I was just, come on. For a few short minutes, I created a card deck called the Zen cards, and we came out with these cards, and his were inner peace cards. And for a very small moment in time, the Zen cards were outselling the inner peace cards. And I said, look, the big Wayne Dyer and this little fat guy Dan Levin, he wrote Zen cards and nobody knows him, and I'm outselling you. How's that? He got so mad. He went on every stage, and he said, we gotta outsell this guy. He's killing me.
Love it.
But he said something so beautiful. He said, when you change your perception of the world you see changes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what this is about. You change the way you think, everything changes. And it's just so easy. It's all within our hands. So if we don't like the way, forget about if I don't like the way my life is going, I can either change the stories that I tell, I can change the words that I say, or I can change the thoughts that I have. Wherever I change, it'll tilt everything, and it'll start to change backwards, forwards. Everything will change.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's miraculous how easy it is. We make it so hard. Why?
In your room, when I listen to you, I mean, that comes up a lot. By the way, I just love this. I want to shout out to you right now about, you really push people to speak in the I am. And I know that I struggle with that. I don't like telling people what to do. I'll tell you that. Like, I know my wife's laughing right now out loud. I can hear it. But I really don't. I'm trying to figure stuff out for myself. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I love the fact that you in your room, you are really super conscious of asking people to tell me about your experience and not tell me how I should go out and have that experience, kind of thing. And I just so love that. And I did not know this, by the way. I'm just all over the place here, but I didn't know that you brought Wayne to it's Tracy, right? What's his first name?
Reed Tracy. Reed Tracy.
Yeah, Reed Tracy.
House.
Yeah,
so
you did that.
Wayne and Reed became the best of friends.
I do. Right.
Reed was like Wayne's son.
Oh, that's so cool.
They loved each other so much.
I love that guy. I only met him. I met him 3 times. Believe it or not, I met Wayne 3 times. And my wife Renuka and I met him right next to his house, on 𝘄𝗶𝘁𝗵 𝗣𝗲𝗏.
Yeah.
And so he was just walking along, and she saw him, and it's just like she saw Mick Jagger. I mean, it's just like she lost her mind. And I was like, it's Wayne Dyer. I know we're going to see him in the course tomorrow, but she's so excited. And we were there to get secretly married. I'm just sharing something with everybody. Wow. Secretly married. And I really wanted to ask him if he would do it, and I know he would have said yes. And for some reason, my heart aches now that I never had the courage to go up and say, hey, Wayne, you know what? We're sneaking down to the beach. Would you mind coming down and kind of doing that? I know he would have, because he's that kind of guy, right? He was just
he
that.
Would have probably.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I just thought that was fantastic. That connected. Let me push you in another direction. You had a good conversation today about happiness. I was talking to a good friend of yours, Asha, and of course they have a Happiness at Work conference and so on that's coming up in December. I'm just wondering. There's no right or wrong of this, obviously, but I want to hear it from you. What is it?
Wow.
What is happiness, Daniel? What is happiness, my friend?
Peter, of all the things that I've attained in my life, which I've attained a lot, I don't know that I found happiness yet. I remember as a kid being just relentlessly happy.
Mm.
I mean, I just would come into a room and I would light up a room, because I just was so on fire with love and life, and I felt so loved, and I felt so accepted, and I felt so unconditionally loved by my mom and dad, that I just had. So many people have not had great upbringings.
Mm-hmm.
I was really fortunate to have a great upbringing. My parents just didn't stay around long enough.
Mm.
And so I've had a lot of pain in my life. And that pain, I realize, has robbed me of some of my happiness. And I was just really thinking about it today in the room when I was talking about it yesterday or today. I think it was yesterday. And I thought, what happened to my happiness? Where did it go? And so there are lots of questions I can answer. I don't know that I can answer that one yet, because somehow it still eludes me.
You know what's fascinating? You said, but you said, no, sorry. You just said, I don't think I found it. But you said you think you had it when you were younger, and then you said, I think I lost it. So I'm just thinking you must have an inkling of what that is, because you know it's missing. Would that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And I have an inkling, but I have an inkling. Like, I always like to speak from what's real for me in my life right now.
Mm.
And when I speak from what's real for me in my life, I find there's a heaviness to me. There's a weight on my shoulders that doesn't beget happiness. You don't see in the Bible, this begot that. You don't see heaviness begets happiness. Yeah, right. There's a weight on my shoulders. There's a pain in my heart. And I think happiness for me, if I had to take a guess at it right now,
Mm.
would be to realize that the pains that I've experienced are all contributing to my happiness rather than draining me of my happiness.
Oh, I like that. There you go. That's all I needed to hear that today. That's my shoulders too, by the way. Everything's so
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't let this shirt and this hair fool you. I carry around a lot of weight too. Everyone's carrying.
Yeah.
I always tell people, everyone's carrying around their own crosses. They're all different sizes and weights, and just
Yeah.
everyone's on their own journey. That thinking of that, anytime people jump into your room, and I sense, and we're almost talking about it now, this sense of searching. That's one thing I've always believed, that you can't teach people to search. That's just my own fundamental belief. It kind of comes within. You can't teach people the idea that they want to know who they are and the I am stuff. What do you think people are searching for right now? You talk to a lot of people. What do you think they're searching for, like right now, the most?
I think people want to be loved and accepted, listened to and heard, and acknowledged and validated. I just keep coming back to the same. My bread and butter is my same bread and butter. I mean, it's just like, when I look, I think maybe they're searching for happiness. Maybe they're searching for love. My wife will tell you that, and she'll tell you convincingly, that love is the only thing that's needed. And I agree with her. Happiness is, the room today or yesterday was the search for happiness.
Mm.
I think what I'm searching for above love and happiness is the ability to really be authentic and be myself with people, because in the world we live in, people pedestal people. I mean, I'm too fat a guy. I'm too big and fat to put up on a pedestal. You can't get me up there.
Don't be
Right?
Look at these guys around me. Look at that guy right behind me, that Buddha guy.
That's right. So, I mean, who wants to be on a pedestal?
Mm.
So when it would have been so easy to answer some BS answer of what I think happiness is and make you feel happy that you got that. But I think my happiness comes in being seen and being not the facade that you want me to be, but being who I am, and having the courage to look at you and say, will you still love me if I am not who you believe I am?
Right. I mean, I'm telling you, but you've heard me say it in the room before, and I'll just reiterate. I mean, I'm always overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed, of how people see me and then how I see myself. Yeah. And to your point, would they accept me if they, I always talk about the idea, if my inner voice was amplified around the world, would I be proud of that? Yeah. And the answer is normally no, just to be clear on that. Again, I'm going to keep pushing you around, because I got so,
please.
And the reason why I'm doing this, everybody, listen, I'm doing this just to reset what we're talking about here. Daniel, of course, the Mosaic, a book, but it's also really a concept of living, if you will. So, but it's a beautiful book, and I wanted to make sure everyone knows that. Go out to the website. I'll put that up right along the bottom there, the Mosaic online.com, and then you can read a lot more about Daniel. I'm scratching the surface with his background, but you can go read that stuff. Okay, I want you to go to his website and read that stuff. So while I got him here, we're just going to have some fun here. This is something I brought up in a conversation before, and people seem to be fascinated, not on air, just with a couple friends, and I think we might have even done it like in a 2 or 3 room clubhouse. And this is really interesting to me. Soul and spirit, Daniel. I mean, you can pick up the spirit of people. You know what I mean? That energy of people, and you feel them. Like, I know I'm very sensitive to energy. So when I'm around people and I can pick it up like this, or I can pick it up like this, and I'm thinking, is that their soul, or is that just the spirit? Or so what do you think of that concept? I mean, I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts on the idea. Is the soul and the spirit kind of the same thing, or is it 2 different things that we're talking about here?
I've never been asked that question before, and I don't know that I know the answer. What I would say off of the top of my head, and it's only off of the top of my head.
Of course, we're just having a conversation. Of course.
Is soul for me is what all of this is encased around. My spirit is the amplification of my soul into the world.
Ooh, I like that.
And so when people feel my spirit, it's the vibration of my soul. It's really the same thing as my soul. It's just the vibration of my soul emanating out. I think my soul stays steady in myself, but my spirit emanates out. Your spirit emanates out. Maybe that's would be what I would say, but I wouldn't invest any money in that answer.
Well,
like, I have no idea if it's right or not.
well, I'm just going to tell you right now, copyright it or I'm stealing it. Copyright
you can steal it. You can steal it. It's okay.
That was beautiful. I think you're right. It resonates. Well, it resonates with me because I'm a musician. It's like an electric guitar, right? The electric guitar has an essence to it, and then you put it in the hands of somebody, and then you plug it in, and then it amplifies out, but it's still this physical little thing that you. So that's the soul, basically. The electric guitar in your. I just love that what you just said. Anyway, listen. For someone who said, you know what, I never thought about that before, but here's my answer. I think we got another book, Daniel, just so you know. I think we got a book there coming up. You know what's fascinating about, again, I mentioned it earlier, about how people see you, and not specifically you, but us in general, like see ourselves, and then how other people see us from afar. I'm wondering, one of the things I struggle with a lot, I think a lot of people can resonate with this, which is, the idea of being gracious with kindness, receiving. So when people are kind to me, I get overwhelmed, and so I don't know what it comes from, a sense of not having not being worthy of stuff, whatever it is. Where do you think that comes from? Where does the idea of self-worth, where does that come from, do you think, or how can we develop it?
So again, great questions. I don't think I've ever been asked these questions, so I so appreciate new questions, and I wish I had beautiful answers for you all lined up, but I'm going to just tell you what's in my heart right now as you say it.
That's what I'm asking for. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I can't speak for you or anybody else. I can speak for me, and maybe how I experience this world might be similar to the way you experience it. If so, great. If not, please just throw it away. When I look back on my life, I've spent so much time doing this, just knocking myself down, just putting myself, saying, you can't do that, you're not good enough, you're never able to do that, you're too fat, you're too old, you're too ugly, you're just, you're not young enough, you're not, whatever the thing is that it comes up. It could be any number of things. You choose to fill in the blank. It doesn't, every one of them I've said. And so if I believe that about myself, if I remember, my thoughts become my words become my stories, and my stories become my life. So now my life has been made up of my stories and my words and my thoughts of, you're not good enough, you can't do this, you don't deserve it, when you tell me that I'm not great, I'm a nice person, why in the world, that doesn't register. There's no place for that in the paragraphs of my story. So I'll just shoo it away, and I'll just say, oh, that's great, thank you very much, and you're just seeing yourself in me, and I'll deflect it. When my story starts to change, what I notice for me, when my story starts to change and I start to realize, hey, I can be kind to myself, I don't have to hit myself. I can start to take down the walls that separate me from the world around me, and I can see this whole world that's around me. And I can realize there's a creator that loves me and is benevolent and is looking for kind ways to help me achieve what I want. And I can have a vulnerable relationship with that creator. And then I can start to see, wow, this is what I'm here to do in this big world. I'm here purposely to do this. And then I can start to make connections with those people. Those are the 4 steps of connection. When I practice those 4 steps of connection, what happens is my story changed. And now when someone says to me, Daniel, you're a really good guy, or Danny, I really like you, or I really like what those things you're saying, I say thank you. Because it's the gracious thing to say. It doesn't really matter if I believe it or don't believe it. It's you believe it, and you have every right to believe whatever it is you want. I get in trouble when I start to believe too much what people say about me. Right?
Get in line. Get in line. That's everybody. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And when they dislike me, I say, well, hold on. You think you're the first one? There's a line for me. You go to the end of the line there. You can come and tell me in the end of the line. Wait your turn. When they love me, I say there's a line for me. Just, wait for it to come around, because I watch too many people in my professional life.
Yes.
Where I discovered beautiful, beautiful souls. And as we helped them become more and more well known, they became some of the biggest assholes you ever wanted to meet.
Wow. That's, yeah, I've experienced, I know what you're referring to, my friend. Yeah. I know it's, you meet some people in the world of philanthropy is in another world that sort of like I touch upon, and you meet somebody who they might write big checks and they might speak the language. And then when you meet them, you're like, gosh, it's different. It's just different. And your heart hurts a little bit,
Yeah, my heart hurts a lot.
Yeah.
And it's kept me from wanting to be anybody that people could see, because I thought I can do this all from behind. That's why when you said I never talked about myself, there's a reason why. Because all those people talked about themselves, and then suddenly when they give a talk, if they're not green M&Ms sitting in the green room waiting for them, and there's green and red and blue and yellow and orange, they yell at somebody because they said, I want only green M&Ms.
Right, yeah.
And who the hell cares?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
and I say that story not because of M&Ms, because what in this world is worth yelling at somebody about? I mean, it's just green M&Ms. It's just the way someone says your name or doesn't say it, or the way someone treated you. Well, is it really worth getting upset about that? Like, just let people be who they are. That's okay.
Yeah. I see how you're tying together, and if I jump in here, like you're tying together, which I really appreciate. And I just want to make sure I'm hearing it right. I mean, being gracious and being kind with other people who are giving, and you're trying to receive, you're being the receiver. Are you saying you can receive without having self-worth? So I could learn to receive even though I'm fighting my self-worth. Is that what you mean by that? Or do I really need to make sure that graciousness ties together with me so that I can be gracious and I feel worthy of it?
I don't know that you need to feel worthy of it. I just think, for me, and I don't know that this is true. Again, I wouldn't put any money on this answer. On the cassette table, or on the big wheel.
In the Walkman. I always say the Walkman.
That's right. That's right. But what I found in my life is that when I started to be kind to myself, I could accept the kindness of other people. When I'm not kind to myself, it's pretty hard for me to accept kindness from other people, because there's no space for it, because it's filled up. I filled my container with unkindness. It doesn't mean that it's impossible. Some can leak in. Someone who's really good at it, I guess, could get inside. My wife did that. She was amazing. I looked at her when she was 21 years younger than me, an absolutely gorgeous woman. And I had just lost a lot of money because a manufacturer who I was working with in the clothing business, we were going to ship him $1.5 million for the first delivery of the first season, and he didn't make anything, and I lost $300,000. He told me 3 days before we were supposed to ship $1.5 million, he told me we didn't make anything. And that's when Anna came into my life, and I just looked at her and I said, why would you love me? I'm old. I have no money. My heart now is acting up because I'm so anxious. I've never earned money in my life before. I have these anxiety feelings that people are going to come and take my house and my car and my everything that's valuable to us, that's not valuable but that we live under. Well, you don't want to get involved with this. Why would you love me? And she said, I've never been asked why I love somebody before. I love you because I love you. I don't care what you have or don't have. And I went from feeling like so infinitely nothing to feeling so invincible. And I've made a pact in my life at that point in time that I was going to try and give that feeling to other people. I was just going to try and love them for no reason. She said, I don't need a reason to love you. And she was the one that created that for me, that I love people for no reason. I remember saying to a woman a few months ago, you have no idea how much I love you. And she said, what are you, crazy? You're so full of crap. You don't even know me. You don't know me. How can you say you love me like that? And I said, I said to her, that's a really good question, but if I can hate you for no reason, surely I can love you for no reason.
Oh.
And she said, okay, I accept that. Wow.
That's a powerful. I love that, by the way. I've not heard it that way before. That's fantastic. If I can dislike you or mistrust you or whatever for no good reason, why couldn't I do it the other way? Wow. Wow.
It was really beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful, my friend. Hey, and you just said it earlier, but I'll just throw it at you right now. Hey, Daniel, I like you, and you're a good person.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, speaking of this person who seems to be responsible for all of this, because I have one of those too. Just so you know, this is really messy. Okay, just so you know, right here, very messy.
High five. High five.
You got it on that? Yeah. Right here, I have one. I have someone who does exactly that in my life as well, and I just cannot wait to meet this person you just spoke of. So that was a great segue, by the way. I appreciate that. I didn't even have to try that. I super appreciate that. This beautiful soul you just mentioned, and I met you both together on Clubhouse. So I know that it would be really crazy of me to even try to have a conversation with you and not even have this other beautiful half in your life. So please welcome everybody. Anna, how are you? Good to see you.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, baby.
Hi. Hi, my love.
Oh, good to see you.
Good to see you. Let me know if I make noise, but there's a lot of noise in the house, so I had to kind of like.
Oh, no worries. No, hey, listen, it rubs up. If it rubs up against that beautiful hair, we'll understand. It's all that beautiful hair. Really nice to see you. Thank you for showing up. I reached out to you and I said, there's no way I could talk to this good-looking fellow without you, because he speaks of you exactly. I sat in a room. I was listening to a room the other day where you guys were really talking about, it's just really incredible relationship that you have and who you are. And anyway, it was so beautiful. And Daniel, you spoke so eloquently about the idea that, again, this is the yin and yang thing, right? There's not one without the other, and so on. So let me just start with that for you. And if you don't mind, and again, I love what you do. I'm going to put up your website in a second here. It's all about making sure, because you guys never talk about yourselves to anybody. So I'm going to make sure I'm doing it right now. So I'm going to put your site along the bottom here. Where is it? I think I have it here somewhere. I'll find it for you.
You got it.
I can see it.
So make sure we get that. And Laura, so it's Anna Laura. I didn't know that until I looked up the website and so on. So when you hear that good-looking young fellow right there saying those words, what does that mean to you?
Well, it means the world, because I feel like I was guided to Danny, and the fact that he received it at such a low point. I mean, even from a male perspective, the guy is the protector, and he was really in a very vulnerable place. So I'm forever grateful that he received it, but it was shocking to me too, because I was and I am so certain of my love for him and that we belong together, that the fact that he asked me that question was even a little bit shocking to me. And beautiful at the same time, because I realized in my heart, it's like, I don't need a reason. Like, love just is.
Right. Wow, that's powerful. And I know what you mean by that. I won't go into it for myself, but I know what you mean. When you connect with someone, it's just like it's hard to find some of the words to figure out why that happens. And like you said, so when someone asks why of something that is just there's an ism to it. I just love the concept of there's an ism of things, and this is one of them, and that for you. I want to talk about a little bit about you for a second, if you don't. I hope, Daniel, you don't mind. I talk about this beautiful soul.
It happens every conversation. That's what I enjoy.
I like you, but
why would you talk to me when you could talk to her?
Hey, listen, but I super appreciate that. So I want to talk about a little bit about what you do, and I want you to have the opportunity to talk about some of the things that you do, because I love the idea when I've been in the rooms that you talk about source energy, alignment, and these kinds of things. And so just if you can, just for those that are kind of tuning in and listening a little bit about that, I'm going to put your mission up along the bottom, make sure people can read that. Tell us about a little bit about what you do and the kind of the energy, how that connects with what Daniel is doing. Both of you together are just fantastic, by the way. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
Yes, and I do feel that Danny and I share this life mission of loving and seeing humanity be better and building trust and connection. And so we do it in different ways, of course. In my case, this purpose came knocking on my door a few years ago, reluctantly. I have to admit, 100% real, being real here. I did not seek this, it sought me. And a series of things that I don't need to get into, but like a series of, synchronicities and serendipity in my life. And I just blew open and I started to connect to source energy. And in this connection, in this very sacred connection, I learned to trust it. I learned to feel it. I learned to utilize it, and ask it to teach me how to do what I do. And basically, is this divine love that just flows through me onto anything. It could be a person, it could be a pet, it could be a house. And it's this beautiful, intelligent, pure love source energy that just aligns whatever is out of alignment. And so that's the best way I can put it into words, the simplest way.
Yeah, and I was referring to specifically, you're right, as source energy alignment, but there's other things to it, obviously, and I want people to go to your website to learn more about, how they can interact with you and engage with you and work with you and so on. But later on during the show, I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, if we would try one of these, because
Yes.
there's a lot of people out watching this program and or hearing it, and listen, we all need an alignment. Remember the story I told you? I called you back and told you a story about I listened to you for one time, and hey, listen, I'm a doubting Thomas guy, and I literally was knocked upside the head with one of your alignments, and I appreciated that. So I won't go into that story, but I so appreciate that. And again, during that, I just want to talk about that. For example, the alignment. What are you trying to do or what is the goal of the alignment itself when you do this, this thing, this event, if you will? What's the goal and purpose of it?
So the purpose of a source energy alignment anytime is to remove whatever is impeding the natural flow of our energy and our connection to source. We're always connected to source, always, because that's what source creates everything. However, for example, our thoughts may impede the natural flow, our physical ailment, an emotional trauma. It could be a series of things. It could be something that we carry over from childhood. It could be from our parents, genetically speaking. It could be, so it's broad, but the intention is always the same, is to align whatever it is blocking that natural flow and creating more wellness, more authenticity, more like a stronger connection with our own soul. I heard you guys were talking about soul and spirit, right? And
Yes.
when we strengthen that connection, then we are living more intimately with ourselves.
Right.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah. Listen, I'm really trying to accept where I am in my life of being connected to all what we're talking about. I don't have the vocabulary for it. I'm trying to figure it out. I get overwhelmed by it easily, just so you know. So maybe that's some of the blocking of it. I'm trying to figure it out rationally in my brain, as opposed to letting my heart and my soul kind of hear it and feel it and move on. So I just wanted to let everyone know we are definitely going to do that. I'm excited to do that. There's no doubt about that. You must be pretty proud and to be, connected to such a beautiful soul. Are you not, my fine friend? Yes.
Yes. I mean, when I saw Anna originally, I saw Anna. But Anna didn't see herself. And watching her over the period of time open up, and it's been not easy. It hasn't been, the path has not been laid with rose petals in front of her. She's had to do a lot of work to get to the place where she is right now. But I'm so proud of her now. And it's only really just starting. I mean, like for instance, we're creating an NFT, and she said, I asked Source if it would allow me to bless this NFT, so that anybody that hears or sees or feels or experiences this NFT will experience a healing of some sort. I mean, how amazing is that?
That is amazing.
She can work with a business and clear the energy in a business. She can work with a product line and clear the energy in a product line. She can clear a house. She had a friend of ours who's a real estate agent and said there's this beautiful house that's close by that was listed for $4 million that should have been sold in 3 minutes. And it had been on the market for months. And they said, maybe you can come and just speak to the house. And she went in and spent 2 hours just with the house. She talked to the house. She listened to the house. The house told her some things. She said, I'll make sure that they know that. 21 minutes later, they had a bid on the house. How does that stuff happen?
See, this is this is what I'm saying. Like, listen, we can sit. I'm telling you now, that is the stuff that I just go, I don't know. I'm telling you, Daniel, this happens to me. That stuff what you just talked about happens to me all the time, like all the time. And I go, yeah, whatever. But I need to, I think all of us sometimes feel that, but Anna obviously has a connection point that's a little different than someone like me. And obviously it resonates with you. Now, listen, we got so much to talk about still, so I'm going to push you around. I'm not trying to avoid any more conversation. Hey, you know me, right? We're just, yeah, let's go. We got so many things to talk about. I want to bring up some comments. Oh my gosh. There's 1,000 comments in here, Daniel. So I hope if you find some time, grab yourself whatever your pleasure beverages and go back and talk to these people. And I like, as an example, here's Michael. This man, Daniel Levin, I keep on saying Levin is the next level. Yeah, see, you're at the next level.
Next level down.
Don't be silly, man. Don't be silly. It's fantastic. I mean, seriously, it's unbeliable. A beautiful gift you have, Daniel. There you go. And RVM stands for that's my beautiful wife right there. That's for Renuka. So I'll definitely after the show. I hope you guys stick around for 3 minutes.
Yes, I would love to meet Renuka.
Yeah, that's the person that kind of keeps me grounded to the.
Would love that. Be my honor.
So it's great. I love this. I wrote that intimacy quote down during Clubhouse when you said it, Daniel. You're talking about the intimacy. See, she was in the room listening to you. That's Melody in beautiful Massachusetts. So I just wanted to. There's so many amazing comments here. I love this, especially when you change the thoughts and perception and stories. Yeah, you change the way you think about things, the things you think about change, kind of thing. That the thoughts, right? I just love that about Wayne Dyer. I mean, I'm such a big fan, and you said it best, Anna, just right now. I used the word "what's the purpose," and I was struggling, believe it or not, for finding a word. My vocabulary is very limited. Intention. It was all about intention, and I always use that word. I think it's such a powerful word. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing it? And I always say, not what are we doing, but what are we doing? What am I doing? Not what am I doing? So the intention, I just love that. And so many people here. It was so great thing. And hey, man, love you as well. And listen, look, these guys are loving on each other and they love all this stuff. And look, everything is energy. Yeah, absolutely. Daniel, I'm going to throw another one at you, buddy. Listen, we're having fun. I hope you're having fun. Anyway, I am.
Oh God, yeah. I love you. I love the moment you came into my life.
Oh,
I feel so close to you and so honored to be with you, and I thank you so much for having me on your show and for bringing Anna up and having her on the show too. What an honor. I love it.
Super kind of you. I appreciate that. Listen, I'm going to go deep with you now. I'm going to go deep with you, buddy.
Let's go.
Let's do it just for a couple minutes here because we have so much to do. And Anna, please stick around. Please, if you don't mind, please stick around with us here. We're definitely going to get to some of that energy alignment because I think it's really, really important for people to experience that, and I want them to experience that. So hopefully we can reach that one person. Daniel, remember we were talking about reaching that one person. So I'm reaching you exactly. Let's go deep. We're gonna go. Here we go. Never done this before. Here we are going deep with Danny. We're going deep with Danny right now. This one's tough. Listen. There's no right or wrong. I know that you could take any one of these and we can make a 3-hour show. I mean this sincerely. So don't really overthink it or anything. And if it doesn't resonate with you, just say, Peter, let's let's pass. But I'm not, I'm not going to move that, but that's okay.
Right.
Hey, I asked this a question. I went to Rwanda one time. I'll tell you this quick story. I went to Rwanda and I spoke with people who not only experienced genocide, but participated in it. So I met people who participated in genocide and I met their victims and literally we spoke hand in hand with each other. Overwhelming to me. And I used to ask them this question and I really was scared to do it, but I wanted to ask them. So I asked people who experienced genocide this question and I wanted to ask it of you, believe it or not. So it's a pretty big question. Is humanity inherently good or evil? What do you think of that concept?
I'm definitely inherently good. I mean, it's When I think about the one who's bigger than I could ask the same question. Is the one that's greater than I inherently good or evil? Do I have to protect myself from that? Do I have to defend myself? Because it seems like so often the only reason I stand up is so he can hit me down and knock me down again. Over the course of my life, I've been experienced a lot of things that have caused me a lot of pain. So it would be so easy to walk away from that, believing that, boy, life is not good. Life is hard. Life is evil. Life is bad. And I don't know if it's because I have a Pollyannish view on life. But when you, for me at least, let me just talk personally. I've had a moment or two where I've tasted the nectar of that goodness. And once I tasted the nectar of that goodness, there's no way something evil could make that nectar. It's just, to use our friend, it's just at another level.
Yeah, that's great. Listen, I want to do a show on this. I want to do multiple shows on. I have my own theories as well. That's why I want to. Maybe we'll do this another day and we'll have a conversation, even, over a beverage, and we'll talk about it. But
I love that.
It's just a fascinating question. Here's one that I'm still trying to figure out. And if you know the answer, just let me know. Would you please let me know? What do you think happens when we die? When the physical body dies, what do you think happens?
I watched what happened when someone dies. My parents passed away. I didn't get to be with them when they died. But my baby, how do I say it? My late wife, is that what I say? My late wife passed away after a very, very, very painful illness with cancer.
Mm.
And I laid 2 inches from her as she passed away. And what I saw in that moment, and it literally was, I wish I had my wife's ability to snap. It was literally that quick. The spirit was out of the body. The body became cold, it became rigid, and there was nothing in it. It was literally a body that had held this beautiful soul. What I have grown to believe, again, this is not a Vegas betting thing, but what I have grown to believe, and it makes a lot of sense to me, because even with my children, I give them an opportunity to do something right, and they fall down. And I say, that's okay. Let's just get back up and try it again. When I'm good, when I'm not, I get upset. But I say, okay, of course you fell down. Just let's get up again and do it. And I can't imagine the one that's greater than I wouldn't do the same thing with his or her children. And so I believe we come back again and again and again and again and again and again and again until we don't want to come back anymore.
Oh, that scares me, Daniel. I'm just telling you. I got to jump in. I'm just telling you the truth. That's the only thing in the spiritual realm of conversation that overwhelms me specifically. I mean that sincerely.
How come?
I really don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it out, but I'll tell you the thing that scares me even more. Here's the thing that went above this. I heard a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. So she was asked this question about reincarnation and coming back and stuff. And when she said, her answer made me believe for the first time in my life that it's possible. And here's what she said. Someone said, do you believe in reincarnation? And she said, it would be no more unbelievable for me to show up in another life as I did in this one.
Yeah, I love that.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. And it just overwhelmed me. I don't know why it overwhelms me, my friend. But I love the fact that you think that that's true, and that we got to keep coming back and try to figure it out. And That's why I met you, Daniel. I hope that I'm figuring some stuff out, that this is the last time around, just so you know.
I'm hoping that that's why I met you. I think we're gonna.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that's what's happening right here with us. I'm hoping that's happening with us. So no, I don't want to belittle that question. I mean, it's a really, really gigantic question. And listen, I don't want to ride what you said here. You just shared something really personal that I really did not know that. I research a lot, and I learned a lot about you, but some of that I did not know. So thank you for being so open and sharing that, because that resonated with somebody. Somebody heard that, and it was so important. Speaking of all kinds of great people, I got some great people here who want to be with you. It's as simple as that. So I brought this person in, and I just want you to give 3 guesses who it might be, real quick. 3 guesses, but they're connected to you. They're connected to you. Yeah, they're really connected to you, and they wanted to be here. And I was like, really? I was like, okay, that's.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I just said, okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, totally. I can bring her in. I hope she'll jump on the camera here. Now she's already there, so I hope she'll just bring on the camera here. I just gave half of it away, so half of it is she. So,
well, we're going to hear her voice or his voice, right?
So if my mystery guest would just come on and say hello to Daniel, this would make the show even more impactful for him, I'm hoping. Is my guest still there?
Hello, David.
Oh, of course I know who that is. Why aren't you sleeping, Asha? I can't believe you're up at this time of night. I love this woman.
Right?
This woman is over to your left, and the woman that's on top of your head, they are like sisters, and I don't know how I work in their family, because they are like so connected, and I'm just this like, they're like the balloon that pulls me up, and I'm like the case that holds the people in the balloon. But I can't believe you're up. What a treat to have you here.
Again, it's 2:00 in the morning. It's like 2:45 a.m. in and around the Netherlands, where she is over in Amsterdam. She reached out and said, listen, I'm going to be up watching this guy anyway live. There's no doubt about that. So I said, absolutely. And Asha, thank you so much for coming on and joining us. We've had a great conversation this week, and I've been jumping into some of the clubhouse rooms that you've been hosting and so on. And I'm going to take us, hopefully Anna's going to take us on a journey now in a little bit real soon. And so I'm hoping that your energy here will help with that. I also have another super cool energy I want to bring into the room to experience you, Anna, just so that you know. And I invited, has no connection to you guys right now, but he's super supportive of me, and I want to support him and his family and so on. Asha, please. Yeah, Asha. Yeah, I know. I lost you. I'm just lost with the emotion. Hey, Daniel, there's so much going on here. Asha, tell me, just, tell everybody here, what's so special about these 2 beautiful people we're looking at right now and your relationship with them.
Oh my gosh, Peter. So then I will take over your whole show if I'm going to speak about Anna.
Hey, just so you know, it never happens. It never has. I'm the producer. It's okay. It's all good. But I definitely want people to understand, your connection is at a little different level than some other people. So I just wanted you to share that, in this setting.
I looked it up. It was April 15 this year that I went to the Mosaic Club. And there I hear the voice of Daniel and Anna. And Anna was doing a source alignment, and I was like, wow. My voice started to activate, and I was like, what's this? And Daniel and Anna, they just invite people up to come, and you can sit, you don't have to speak. So I thought, well, let's do this. Let's join them on stage and just be quiet. And Daniel sent me a message that it was great to see me in the room, and that he would love to hear me share something, but I didn't. But the next day, I again went to this club, the Mosaic, and since then it's been my home. Every day. No, not every day, but almost every day. I spend at least 1 hour, 1 hour and a half with Daniel and Anna and all those beautiful people. And I learned so much. I learned so much about me, to be honest. While listening to other people, you can learn so much about yourself. And Daniel's always pushing me to show up a little bit more and a little bit more. And he's doing a wonderful job. So I have 2 questions. To both of them. My question is, what does it mean? What does it mean to be fully human?
So my wife helped me have an inkling to what the answer to that might be. I came to this world, immediately saw that I didn't belong in it, and did everything I could to escape it. Not by killing myself, but by just rising above it. I didn't really want to be here, so I put myself in a monastery, I put myself in a seminary, I did all the things. I went the opposite direction that most people go, because I just didn't feel like this was my home. And it was really only recently that Anna said, why do you think you were created here? Do you think you were created here to try and elevate above it, or to experience the experience of being here? I think the experience of being fully human, for me, when I look at my life now, is to be able to experience every experience. The sadnesses, the pains, the hurts, the sufferings. What I want to get back is the joys. I've got those down pretty good. I want to get back the joy and the happiness and all that other stuff.
Yes.
I want those things to come now and to experience those. But I think I'm starting to experience those experiences and really understand that that is the experience of this experience. And now it's time for happiness. So I'm hoping that your happiness at work can make it work for my happiness in me. That's what I'm looking for.
Totally. Anna, what do you think of that? What do you think of that question?
I love that question, Asha. I feel that the first thing that came to my heart was to be fully human is to have the courage to feel it all. To feel it all. And in doing so, I believe that that is the most spiritual thing we can do. That is the most spiritual practice we can have, to have the courage to feel it all and see that thread that goes back to love. You know, I look at my life and I try my very best to invite myself to see how love is speaking to me through all my experiences. You know.
Fantastic. Hey, Asha, listen, only because I love you so much, you know this. Only because I love you so much, the producer's coming out of me. You got one more question. I know you do. Push Daniel. Go ahead, push them. Yeah.
Okay, yes, I'm going to push him because
if she stays up till 3 a.m, Daniel, listen, my hands are tied. My hands are tied.
Okay, Daniel, and also for Anna, because they are the best cheerleaders for me and for you and for so many people, right? So I'm going to ask this question. What is the most significant discovery that you made about yourself this year? What is the most significant discovery you made about yourself this year?
It's a little bit of a story. Do we have time for a story, Peter?
Of course we do, Daniel. Of course we do. Of course we do.
Somewhere around 8 or 9 months ago, something happened to me. I have no idea how it happened. I don't know if I bumped into somebody. I don't know if it came while I was sleeping. I don't think it just appeared on my doorstep, because I think I would have noticed that. But somehow, someone put a tiny little box into my pocket. And the box had a little note on it. And when I opened up the box, there was another little box inside that. But the size of the box was not really important, because what the box contained absolutely blew my mind. It was a little cardboard box with a gift inside. And the gift said, "Take this everywhere you go, and leave it wherever you are. Whatever conversation you have, whatever place you visit, just take it and leave it there." And what I realized is that gift was the gift of love. And I spent a lot of time saying, what did I do to earn this gift? What did I do to merit it? Just like I asked Anna, why would you give this gift to me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? And the gift said, you did absolutely nothing to deserve it. This is called grace. I'm giving this to you for absolutely no reason. And I'm giving it to you for every reason. And so, I now am the mailman for this little package of love. And everywhere I go, I try and bring it with me. And I set it at the floor, at the feet of a person. I set it in the room that I'm in, and I just let it be there. I don't even tell people it's there. But I remember I was on an interview with somebody, and I had just discovered it, and they said, well, tell people how you got this. Tell people what to do, because they want to know that. The love, they can feel that love. It's so eminent. You just, like, you are that love. And I said, no. I'm the cardboard box that has the honor of delivering this package of love. When I go, the package, the gift stays. I take the cardboard box with me. And there's another box that goes in that. But I get the honor of delivering that love, and I can talk with it every now and again. And I can feel it every now and again. But I make no mistake, I am not that. And they said, but how do we get that? And I asked love that same question, because I felt so insignificant. I felt so irresponsible to talk of this thing without being able to say what it is. And love answered me by saying, Denny, if you're invited to a beautiful banquet and the table is set out with the finest of foods and the best drinks and the most beautiful flowers, and as you walk around the table you notice a place setting with your name on it, do you go to the host and ask, how would I get invited to be at this table? You've been invited. You're already there. So when someone asks you, how can I do this? How can I get it? Tell them they don't need to do anything. It's already here. Just like you got it for no reason, they're getting it for no reason. They don't need to be good. They don't need to be bad. Love doesn't care how good we are, how bad we are, how many people we help or how many people we don't help. Love doesn't care if we've killed people or hurt people or helped people or lifted people up or pushed them down. When love comes, it comes with love. And that gift is so sacred to me. I talk less about it now than I talked about it before, because when I talked about it before, I was like a little kid who was like, wow, look at this, I got this little gift of love. And I want to take it around with me, and I want you to know you have it. No, I just put it quietly in the rooms that I go into or the places that I'm at. And I just watch.
Daniel, that is listen. Yeah, I think I have a friend who's watching this in the green room. I'm going to bring him in a second. He is full of love and joy, and he's just sitting there nodding and listening. I know the hearts are resonating. Anna, can you please bring your gift of insights to that beautiful question from Asha?
Yes. Boy, what I'm learning about myself, it's blowing my mind, and I can relate to what Danny's saying about grace. Source has been nudging me since 2019 to get in front of people and be uncomfortable. I sat down at the beginning of this year, and Source said to me, which is what you, Peter, were saying, this dance between the head and the heart. And I said, okay, great. How would I do this? They're like, we can't tell you. You need to show up. You will learn as you experience. I did not like that. I did not like that answer.
I want the answer, right? Tell me what to do. Just tell me.
But this is what I learned about myself. I learned how to be a vessel. I learned how to step aside. I learned how to be selfless. I learned how to be scared. And most importantly, I learned how to trust. And it has been blowing my mind and opening my heart to, in ways that I could have never dreamt of before. It's about learning how to dance with my fears and falling in love deeper and deeper with humans, with souls, So it's been so far, and we're only in July. It's been an amazing year for me. Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I so relate to that, just so you know about this idea. First of all, yeah, the head heart stuff all day long here. Just like, they're duking it out. I'm so tired at the end of the day. My head wants to do something. My heart's doing the other thing. And it's people like Asha, for example. Asha's been that person for me lately. She just has been showing up for I'm always trying to figure out why. That's half my problem there. But she has been pushing me in that direction of just allowing. So what you said, Anna, is just, I really resonate with that. Be a vessel, try to figure out. I think a lot of people can resonate with that. They want to be a vessel of service. They want to figure out, I guess it's an analytical part of some people want to say, well, why me? Can't you just go get somebody else to do this? And that's how I sort of feel sometimes. And that's something I'm dealing with. I don't want to talk about me, enough said, but I so relate to that. Asher, please stay here right now. Thank you for those two beautiful questions. I got a really good friend, and I really want us to move into the direction of the healing part of this part. And I know I threw that at you. I'm sorry for doing that, but I really want to jump into get source energy alignment, because I just think there's people out there that need to feel that energy and so on. And I want to add something to this, and I hope this resonates with you. And I'm really, I'm being a little vulnerable here just to ask for permission to do this. But I'm going to bring in my good friend, first of all, this guy. And the reason why I'm bringing him in, there's a number of reasons, Daniel and Anna and Asha as well, is we connected each other on LinkedIn. He has an amazing story of loss and trauma in his life, but he's rised above, as we all do, or we try to do. And he has this beautiful daughter, Maddie Moo, we call her, or he calls her, and so we call her. And she's this vessel of kindness and happiness. And this gentleman and Maddie go around literally just smiles. That's all they do, as they bring smiles to people. That's his whole thing. So Anna, when I was thinking about you today, when I said, well, I got to get Anna, we have to get Anna on the show, obviously. And then I said, wow, I'd really like to do the source thing. And then I just thought, I just want this guy to have that experience of this, so that energy can flow into him to continue his journey of bringing smiles to people. So let me bring in my good friend, Michael Ray, how are you, my fine friend? Good to see you. Daniel, Asha, and Anna, this is Michael Ray. Big heart. Like, buddy, the Texas is not big enough to hold your heart. That's why you had to go back to Kentucky.
Man, you have me crying again. I've already cried like 4 or 5 times in this show. All the beautiful things that are being said, and the kind things that you say. A lot of times, again, it just takes me back to that special place. And as you know, Peter, I'm a very emotional man, and I just cry. But the things that are being said tonight, it goes beyond resonating. The level of synergy, and again, the amount of love that is being displayed about how people live and live selflessly. That's why I believe in the power of good.
Yeah, you do. Well, you resonate with me, and these people here will resonate with you once they get to see some of your things. And I mean, what I love about it is it's so raw, it's so real. And a little bit of background about Michael, if you can, again, share a little bit with Daniel and Anna and Asha, so they can get a context of 𝗏𝗍 𝗏 and that relationship you have, and then and again, why you bring smiles to people. If you can share that, I think they would really resonate with that. Before we do this source energy alignment.
Yeah. So I was a father of 5. I lost a son. I have a 22-year-old daughter with Down syndrome. A little unique, but what makes her crazy unique is that she's nonverbal. She truly can't say more than 3 or 4 words. They're singular words. Hey, yeah, no. And I often go back to that place when I talk to parents, and we take for granted in our life, our children always say, I love you. She's never said I love you to me. So as I went through a lot of the trauma, the depression, when I felt so down and contemplated suicide, the one constant I always had was 𝗏𝗏. And even though she couldn't tell me she loved me, it was okay because I felt it through her nonverbal communications. And most of the time that was just the simplicity of the power of a smile. So I quietly at times tell her, because she's the world's greatest secret keeper, that she saved my life. So when I hear you all talking about love, we look at her in this world because she has Down syndrome, that she's not perfect. She is the most perfect human being I have ever met. She leads with love in everything that she does. I think, so when I hear these conversations, so for me, as I evolved as a man and father, I understood how she changed my life. And then I started finding so much joy and happiness, and was grateful in the simplicity of life. And as Peter and I have talked about at times, I love my life because of people. The people in it, I find so much joy. So I have found a place now that, and Mother Teresa talked about this a lot, regardless of your circumstances, she serves some of the most, when you talk about poor, and Daniel, you've been over in India, it's the poorest of poor. It's not like it is here in the States or North America. It is beyond poor, but they still lived with a level of gratitude and love of life. So that even though sometimes in life, when things get really, really hard, life can be still that good. So a lot of what my daughter and I do is, for me, when you talk about love, a smile is the nonverbal way of being able to tell a stranger, I love you.
Wow, that is so powerful. That is so powerful. Thank you, Michael, for sharing that. And I know, Daniel, I just wanted to have some context to who Michael was, and I wanted to bring him in. Anna's going to be back in a second. She had to take a call, and so she'll come back to do the source. And Asha, I just wanted to connect you guys. And again, it's not about even just trying to figure out who should be speaking with you. I don't know, Michael. I saw you're always supportive of things that that I post and things, and I just love your energy. And I knew I was speaking to the man of energy today. I just thought, you just hearing some of the things that Daniel discusses and how he puts things into a unique perspective. I think.
Well, I knew when you asked me, and I have seen you with Asha, before, so I knew a little bit about what she was. But again, when you asked me to come on for a small snippet, no better way to do it than watch the show and then watch the man in action. you know, the past hour, and then hear the conversation between Asha and Anna. It's amazing. You know, I think it's not the words they speak, but the words they speak are what they live.
Mm.
You know, and there's so much power and grace and emotion behind that.
Absolutely.
Michael, I just wanted you to know that I have a developmentally delayed daughter who's 31 years old, who also I've never been able to have a conversation with because she doesn't speak the language the way we understand it. So I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you off of here and just share love stories, because
absolutely amazing. This is how the universe has a way, Peter. I mean, come on now. This is keeping it real.
I didn't. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Ash is going to probably call me later to tell me this, but Daniel, just so that you know, this is the craziness I'm talking about. Michael, I had no idea I was going to reach out to you today. It literally, I was just going on LinkedIn. I was updating some stuff for Daniel's show, and then I saw you, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to read. Are you there? Remember I said, are you there?
You did. It was like 6 o'clock Eastern in the States. And you're like, are you available in a few hours when I go? And I'm like, well, yeah, how long do you need? And I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll make it work. You know, had no idea. I didn't even know when I said yes, who the guest was.
I know. That's why I was, all I said to Michael, I kept on saying, Michael, you're in good hands. And that's what I always tell people.
I just trusted you because I love you. And I know you put me in a good spot. So it's,
well, I super appreciate that. And Daniel, thank you for sharing again another piece of information I did not know. And wow, that connection between you two, that's what the universe needed to share with all of us here today. So I super appreciate that. Anna, thank you for willing to do this. I mean, I put you right on the spot. And I'm going to do something that I've never done before. So Daniel, this is brand new for you and Anna. I'm really doing something I've never done before. You know, I play music for you guys and so on, but and I think you just tolerate that. I don't even know.
Come on now, dude.
I don't even think you like. I think he just tolerates it. But you know,
we
I just
adore it. We don't tolerate it. We love it. We look forward to it every time.
You have a gift.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So with music as the essence, Daniel, here's where I got the idea. I just want to plant it so Anna, you can relate to this as well. Daniel, near the end of your rooms on Clubhouse, you know so kindly mentioned to people, you know, you kind of round out the room with ideas and you just kind of sum up. And believe it or not, when you're doing that, I'm playing my guitar lightly in the background. And you're over top of those chords. And I'm like, wow, this is like magic. It's like I'm in my own world. So you're just speaking. I don't know what you're going to say. And I'm playing these songs, like this music just underneath it. And it just sounds like, wow. I'm like, this is like a movie. It's like so cool. So then I do have, so anytime, Anna, when I hear you do your lovely work of sharing energy with people and specifically what you do. So I want to make sure people don't misinterpret literally what you do, this source energy alignment. And I thought, again, Michael, I thought this would be really powerful energy for you and your family as well to continue what you're doing. I'm going to add a sound in the background called a C drum. It's called a C drum. So basically it's just a drum that I can basically maneuver and make it sound like the ocean in the background. And so it's a very unique thing. I've never done it before for anybody. So, I mean, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to put some music on in the background. You have, like I said, some time now to put together the essence of this source energy alignment for people. And I'll add this sound of the ocean in the background and we'll just rock and roll. So I'm hoping it will be a great experience for all of us. And so let's try this. Let's try this.
Great.
Anna, are you good with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I
go
share
ahead.
one other coincidence?
Of course.
Every time Anna does her source energy alignment, Asha seems to tell me she's singing in her room. So the fact that you're playing music when I'm closing up the room with words and Asha's singing when Anna does her source energy alignment, I just wanted to say, there we go.
I don't know what that is. I just don't know what that is. I really don't know. Listen, that resonates with me so much. So I appreciate that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get the drum. Let me just get the drum. And Anna, you get yourself prepared here.
So as everybody gets prepared, you may want to just breathe a few times. Just taking a deep breath, relaxing and opening your heart to receive. I'm going to mute myself so I don't make noise. Just relax and receive. Take another deep breath. What I hear Source telling us is if we could bring anything to this world, what would we want to bring? What's in our hearts to share with each other? And some of you may be feeling these energies within yourself. Some of you may be feeling more light. There was a lot of heaviness released. As much as we work on ourselves, and that's wonderful, we are being invited to think in service of others. That's the clear invitation that I'm hearing from Source. As we receive a blessing, Source is saying, I'm blessings upon what you want to birth into this world in service of others. Know and feel in your hearts that we are blessed. And when you're ready, you can just take a deep breath and come back.
Anna. Thank you for that blessing. That was...
We feel it, right? We feel it. I feel so much love in my heart. Thank you, everybody. And I would like to see how you're feeling, Michael.
What's crazy is, so the feeling is an overwhelming sense of just calm. And I've never done this. So at first I didn't know. I'm watching on my iPhone, but I closed my eyes. And even though my eyes were closed, I had a vision of you on my phone. So I couldn't see you physically, but I saw you in my mind. It was so real. And it just played there as my eyes were closed. It was like, and I don't even know where you are in this world. but I felt as if I was sitting there with you in the room, physically.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? I mean,
it blew me away.
I'm in California, by the way, but I was hoping that you would feel it, because I could see like Source removing still part of the burdens, you know, that you carry, you know, from your life, or it doesn't matter where from, but
yeah.
And
even, you know, as people think we're insanely happy, we're humans and we do carry things still as we move forward. So that is a gift I don't have that you do. You've been blessed. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Michael.
That's beautiful, Michael. I really...
No, and I felt,
yeah,
I was getting teary and my eyes were closed and trying to process again what I was seeing and feeling and living and working through, and never again have done this before. But it was almost as if I was in the room in California, and it's like she had her hand on me. It felt that real.
Are you traveling again, baby?
I didn't tell you I was in Texas today. No, but joke aside, I'm, you know, what this is allowing me to experience is the interconnectivity. I'm just so joyful when I'm connecting with all of us. Look at all of us, beautiful, and everybody that is listening. Everybody has something to give to each other. Everybody has something to birth into this world. And it's like the mosaic, it's the message, right? This piece by piece, like we are all important, all of us. And that's the blessing that came to all of us that want to receive it from Source today, to birth that which is in service of others. So thank you.
Amazing.
As Melody just said, it is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melody.
Wanted to make sure you're seeing some of the comments here, and please feel free to go back another time, Anna, when you have some. I know you guys are busy, but if you have some time, there's some beautiful comments coming in for you guys, and a lot of people wanting, I'm sure, connecting in the future and stuff. And but you know, I think Michael said it best right there. You know, when you're given a gift and you kind of embrace it, you know, and I'm trying to tie it together with, we talked about purpose, and Daniel just trying to find meaning, and I'm talking about me now. I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to me more than anyone else. I'm trying to figure it out. And, you know, if so for me, to be a conduit, to play a conduit where Anna can do something in Michael's world and vice versa, and it happens here, then the purpose has been served. So, you know, it just brings a great, like you said, the joy that you feel. I'm feeling that for that reason, for example. And it's just nice to be in that energy, because I feel it, and in music and sounds, and being able to, like Michael said, close your eyes and go somewhere. That is a gift, and I appreciate you sharing that. Daniel, you want to add something to that, my fine friend, and then I'll ask Asha as well.
Yes, I'm never amazed at the power of energy, and watching the work that Anna does it's really beautiful now to just hear how consistently people start to experience change. And I just wanted to say something to you, my dear friend Peter. There's so much more going on here than you realize. Your show is so much bigger than you even know. And I just want you to know that these connections that you see are the tip of the iceberg of what's actually happening. You have an incredible gift, an incredible joie de vivre that allows people to feel you, love you, come to you, eat from the table that you prepare for them. And I am so honored to be amongst you here and the people that you brought onto your show, and to be one of them, and to have my wife be there alongside me, to have my dear friend Asha come and visit me in the middle of the night, and to have the Michael the Smile guy, you know, just to be able to meet you. What a joy. And for all the people that are just listening and that will listen to the replay, what a gift, as you well know, for us to all be able to sit together. The thing that happens isn't in the words that we're saying. It's in the presence that gets established here. And that's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
That's very kind, Daniel. I'm trying to, as you know, I'm trying to receive, and I received every single bit of that, and I'm just going to say thank you. That's what I'm going to say. Thank you, Asha. Thank you for your beautiful questions, and you are so connected. So I mean, it's hard for me to sometimes ask you this, but I will ask you. That energy there with Anna, I know you're soul sisters. You're connected in a different way, obviously. How did that resonate with you? And And how do you? I'm just curious your feeling about how it resonates with Michael as well. Just someone that you don't know. I think that's what's interesting. Always when you connect with people you don't know, to kind of see that happen to somebody that, again, he doesn't know Anna, and vice versa, and yet we have that experience.
Yes. Well, first, thank you, Anna. Yes, she is my star sister. I am so in love with her, and this is why, or one of the reasons why I come to this clubhouse room like almost every day to just experience this. Connects me directly with Source. Makes me feel home. And it always reminds me that Source is so in love with me. I feel so much love, like, oh my gosh. So this kind reminder that there is so much love for us, for me, for you. It's such a wonderful thing to experience every day. And sometimes I wish I could just bring Anna with me in a little box. So have her always in my pocket.
Yes, yes. And, I can relate to that.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see more of her and her incredible work and the gift that she's given. I cannot wait to see more of that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, thank you for, the energy of you staying out. It's 4 o'clock in the morning over there, everybody, or what time? I don't know what time it is. But the energy, obviously past borders and time and space and all those kinds of things. So time is just this thing that we're always trying to keep up with for some reason. But thank you for sharing this space with us today. I want to thank Asha and Michael. I hope you stick around, please, if you will. I definitely want to make sure I honor Anna and Daniel's time. Listen, I am just being so selfish right now with my time. I just love being with you guys. So you can just tell me to quit anytime, but I still have a couple things for you. That's so Michael, if you want to stick around, my friend, I'd love to chat a little bit. Maybe you and Daniel can at least exchange a little bit, and Asha as well. I know you're going to stick around a little bit. So I'll just put you guys in the back for a little bit, but please stay here with us as well. Anna and Daniel, holy jumping, so much energy as we shared today. And I'm just so privileged to have you here. And thank you for your kind words, Daniel. I super appreciate that. You're right back at you. You're doing amazing things with with Clubhouse and the different things that you do, and of course the Mosaic as well. So I want to make sure I keep tapping on that as well. We're not done yet, just so you know, we're not done yet. So I hope you're patient with me here, but I am definitely putting that back up because you will never do it, and I will do it for you. So this is the whole point here. So if you want to connect with Daniel, of course, there it is right there, and there's along the bottom there. The mosaiconline.com is where you can get the book, and of course, it's more like, again, it's not the book is just the tip of the iceberg, as he said. It's really a philosophy, it's a thinking, but it's a beautiful story. The book is a beautiful story, and it will take you on a journey that maybe some of us need to go. And if that resonates with you, beautiful. Connect with him as any way that you can. And of course, he's on Clubhouse pretty much every day. Himself and Anna and Asha, they make space for people. And if you show up with a big I am, you are super welcome to participate all day long with that. So now it's time, just so you know, we gotta have some fun. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I work around here. We gotta have some fun. One thing about Daniel, like I said, we don't get a chance to chat with you. Everyone's always asking you those, like me, what happens when you die and stuff like, you get those big questions. I think we should do little questions just so we get to know you. So we got to play, what's coming up next. I hope you know what's coming up next. And the fact that Anna is here, Anna, I want you to play along with this game, because now we're going to find out how connected you are. That's what we're going to do. You ready? Okay. Oh yeah, no, this is a big deal. So here we go. We're going to find out a little this or that with Anna and Daniel. Here we go.
Look
Boom,
at that.
little
I
this
love
or
that.
There's a little this or that coming up right now. So we're going to do a little this or that. No, nothing big, nothing big. We're just going to ask you a question. We'll ask you a question, and then you just pick one or the other. You just pick one or the other. There's no right or wrong. We're just having some fun here. But we're going to find out real quick how connected you are. We're going to find out. Now, I didn't even ask you guys, and I should have asked you at the beginning. So no disrespect to anybody, but sometimes I feel weird when they say, well, I don't. But if you drink alcohol, do you drink alcohol? Do you guys?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Okay.
We're gonna get along just fine, Daniel. You know that. Okay, so I don't want you to think too hard, but I want Daniel, you answer it first, and then Anna, you just jump right in right after when I ask. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Whiskey or wine?
Whiskey.
Wine.
Oh, I love you both. I mean, either way. Daniel, we're gonna go with some whiskey. I guarantee you that. Okay, how about cabin in the mountains or a hut on the beach?
Hut on the beach.
Cabin in the mountain.
Oh, see, that's what I thought. This is good. We're going in the right direction. I love this. All right, this should be interesting. But I got an idea. I think I know what it is. Stones or Beatles?
Beatles.
Beatles.
Okay, there you go.
We used the Beatles soundtrack for our wedding.
Oh, did you? Good, fantastic. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I don't like the Stones. They were the bad boys, but I was always an innocent little kid, so I liked the Beatles.
Well, the cool thing is, I just saw it today. They're actually touring this fall. The Stones. Can you believe that?
Oh my God!
They're still touring.
59 years later, the Stones are touring. Can you imagine, Daniel? I mean, that's legacy stuff. Yeah, I'm blown away by it. How about this one, Daniel? $100 million right now, or to live to 100 in good health?
I'm not interested in living to 100 in good health. That's why I take the $100 million right now. I'm not interested in being here all that long.
Listen, Anna?
I'll take the good health.
Okay, there you go.
Now, because I've got the money already, she
Right,
can have the good health. Right?
We'll inherit the money.
He got the money, and he doesn't want to be around to 100. So, yeah,
Sure.
that works out pretty good. How about this for traveling purposes? Europe or the Caribbean?
Wow. I'm going to say the Caribbean.
Me too.
Oh, fantastic! I know we connect with a lot of people over in Europe and stuff, but hey, hut on the beach, Caribbean. There you go.
I've been
Gorgeous.
to Europe. I've been to Europe more than I've been to the Caribbean. So I
Okay.
love the idea of a hut on the beach in the Caribbean.
Bingo. I'm with you on that. Okay, so speaking of that, sunrise or sunset?
Wow.
Oh, that's hard.
I see more sunsets than I see sunrises because my eyes are normally closed when the sunrise happens, not because I'm sleeping, but because I'm in prayer. So I don't see the sunrise as often but I love in theory, I love sunrise more than sunset.
Mm.
But when we live by the ocean, and to watch the sunset by the ocean is just glorious.
Yeah, I agree. Sunset is one of my favorite parts of the day.
Yeah. See, glass of wine, watching the sunset. Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not much better than that. I'm with you on that. Okay, how about this for a better age? Careful now. Better age. 25 years old or 50 years old?
If it were 25 or 75, I would say 75. But if it's 25 or 50, I would say 25.
Oh, a great distinction. I like that. Anna?
I'm not there yet, but
Hey, I'm not judging.
I would say 50. I would say
24?
50.
You're 24? Is that what's happening?
That's right. I would say 50.
Yeah. I don't know either. I'm just wondering, but that's interesting. You distinguish between 50 and 75, Daniel. What's the secret between those two benchmarks?
I think at 50, for me in my life, at 50, I was still trying to establish something in the world that I don't think needed to be established. At 66, I really don't care that much. At 75, I think I would just be enjoying being in the air that I breathe in. At 25, you still have the excitement. It's like this. It's really like the sunrise or the sunset in my mind. You know, I love the sunset, but I also 25 is just. When I was 25, I was hitchhiking around the world. I loved it.
Right.
So
Oh,
I
you know
have
what?
beautiful memories.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Listen, there's so much to talk about. I'm not going to go there, but I just want to tell you how much stuff I had prepared for you. I mean, there's so much to talk about. There's so much stuff. But I wanted to ask you, now hold your thought, because I know you can go there with this one. I was going to ask you about Simran Singh and that 100 podcast you did and that one sentence. Amazing one. Remember that one sentence?
No, tell me what it was.
Okay. We'll talk about that now. I'll show you. There's an amazing sentence that really changed the way you thought about things. Anyway, see, people, part 2 coming up. Part 2. There you go. It's just fun. So I'm skipping over half of it for goodness sake. Okay, here we go. To talk a full day about I am. Okay, I looked up a list of multiple lists on this, and these 2 characters people seem to show up at the top all the time. So I just so to talk a full day of I am, Dalai Lama or Pope Francis?
Dalai Lama.
Dalai Lama.
You know, and I was looking to, and there's lots of different people up there, but spiritual people in the world, there's all kinds. I mean, 𝗂𝗏 𝗁𝗍𝗄's name is up there. You know, Wayne Dyer is still up there to this very day. I mean, it's, you know, it's these energies are up there. So I just wanted to see.
Knowing Wayne like I did, I would have kicked him and put him off of the thing. I would have said, come on, make room for somebody else.
I know he used to joke about that on his PBS things. He's saying like, I'm like number 10. How come I'm number 10? You know, yeah, he had a great sense of humor about that. Here's an interesting one. I'd love to hear your perspective on happiness or legacy.
Wow. I think I've got to go for happiness because it's eluded me so far. And so I would really love to have my legacy be that I found happiness.
Anna?
Legacy all the way.
Legacy, yeah. Powerful word, powerful concept, right? I love the concept of legacy as well. And you know, it's funny when I talk about that a little bit of legacy, some people really resonate with it, and some people kind of think, well, it doesn't matter, I'm not here, it doesn't matter, kind of thing. And it's always fascinating why those worlds are so apart. Anyway, another conversation altogether. Here's one of my favorites, you guys. One of my favorites: hope or freedom?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Oh, you were both quick.
Top value at the Levin household.
Is that right? Why can you? Yeah, you both quickly answered that. Can you elaborate just a tiny bit for us,
baby?
Why? Go ahead. You were gonna say something.
Yeah, they're defaulting to each other. They're going to know it. Maybe they don't believe.
No. Hope is such a beautiful, beautiful thing to instill in people, but to be unbound by even the chains of gold that seem so beautiful, just to be free, to be able to ride on the currents of the wind, and to be able to move unhindered through this world and through multiple worlds. And freedom is not even bound by this world. Just to be able to move through worlds effortlessly. What an exquisite experience.
Yeah. Anna?
I've tasted it.
Yeah, you tasted freedom.
Yeah, I feel like my spirit is what's seeking at the core of my spirit. That's what it's seeking. It's to just be free.
Free. Yeah, that's fantastic. I always end with this one, just so you know. So this is my favorite, and it's again beautiful just to hear it from you guys, but it's beautiful to hear it from any soul on this earth. To be frank with you. Finish this sentence for me. I love my life because.
I love my life because I can wake up each morning and experience the love affair with my beloved in a way that always surprises me. I think That's why I love this life.
Beautiful. Anna?
I love my life because it provides me with so many opportunities to get just a tiny bit closer to the divine.
Fantastic. With freedom, you have the ability to chase that dream, right? Or that
Freedom's just another word.
Hey. I know where he's going with that. There you go. Hey, that was beautiful, you two. That was just beautiful. Yeah, you guys should love your lives because you found each other. So that alone is magic. I mean, just let that sink in. That's and I know that feeling. Hopefully, if 2 seconds after this show, I'll introduce you real quick,
Yes.
and away we go and so on. Listen, I can't tell you how much pleasure it has been. I always play you guys out. If that's on your,
I love that. Always, always.
Love
on your
it.
radar, I'm not finished with you yet. I'm going to give you everything I got until you can't take it anymore, and that's just that's just the energy and spirit of what I want to give and gift, and I'm receiving much more than I'm giving. So don't you worry about that. I just had a great conversation with you, and I was thinking about so many different songs, Daniel. My God, and I was thinking, gosh, what could I play him? And I had a number of them. I really did, and so obviously we'll have to get together over that whiskey and wine, and
I love that.
and I cover some of those songs. That's what we're gonna have to do. And I never know what I really don't. I never know kind of how it feels. And like right now, I'm torn between two in my mind that resonate with me, and it's just because some of the lyrics inside of these are speaking to me about where you are and how you've been talking over the last few rooms that you've held the space for, but you've also mentioned where you are in your journey, and which I just love hearing. Again, it gives me great inspiration to know that you're still searching like I am, and because I always really feel like, gosh, I'm supposed to have this figured out by now, whatever that is, but I don't. And so some lyrics just stand out more than others, and I'm trying to hear some of them. And what I've been hearing from you lately, yeah, I'm torn, but I'll pick it as I just change everything up. It won't take 1 minute. But here's the cool thing, Anna, just so you know. I mean, we don't waste any time here on Red TV, just so you know. So I have to switch around just two things here in order for me to play my guitar for you, which will only take a minute, generally speaking, if I do it right. But in that minute, Daniel, my fine friend, because you will never do this for anybody, I want to encourage everyone to get out there and get the book, Mosaic book. Just so you know, I got it downloaded from Amazon, but I didn't. I'm just being transparent. I haven't fully read it yet, so I couldn't. That's why I didn't want to quote anywhere from the book. However,
send me your address and I'll send you a hard copy.
Oh, listen, I love that. Thank you. I would appreciate that. That would be very kind. Honor. Only if you sign it, by the way. Only if you sign it.
Absolutely. It's the only way it would come.
The only way it would come. So, but I did find that beautiful voice of yours talking about this book, and I'm going to let everyone have a listen to this right now. You can order it on his website, and of course, you can go to Amazon to download it as well. And there's an audio version of this as well. So let's play a little bit of the audio version of the book.
Wow.
And what we can do is play that, and then I'll switch things around here for a little bit. So let me put up where they can reach you first of all, Daniel. Let's do that. On the bottom here, everyone can see where you can order the book. mosaiconline.com, or you can go to his personal one. Of course, you can connect to him on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse specifically, everybody. Join Clubhouse, go look for the Mosaic, jump into these rooms, bring a whole ton of big bag full of IMs. If you've got a whole bunch of IMs, you're welcome to show up. If you're coming with, let me tell you, if you have a sentence that starts like that, ain't gonna work, just so you know. Just letting you know right now, not gonna work out there. All right, so let's have a listen to the little bit of the book. I'm gonna see if I got my all my resources in place. It's going to take me 60 seconds of changing a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm just looking at 6 things I have to change in 1 minute. And so I'll be right back with you. Everyone, have a listen to the book. This looks fantastic.
And the book on audio is only available through Audible or Amazon. You can't get that on our website. So
fair enough.
So
okay.
if you want it from there, just get it from Amazon or Audible.
Fantastic. Well, listen. Let's have a listen to what this a little bit about what this book is about. I'll see you on the other side here in a second here.
It took only seconds for the wise one to see what he was looking to find. He knew Mo was strong, but the journey that remained was extremely challenging. He wondered, would Mo be able to get through to the other side? As the wise one looked Mo in the eye, he simply asked, "How are you, Mo?" Mo answered honestly, "I am tired. This trip has taken a lot longer and been a lot harder than I thought. Emotionally, it is far more challenging than I would have ever imagined. I am still nowhere near to finding heaven, and I have lost more than I have gained. Seeing you now, I realize how lost I am. I don't know if I can make it. Maybe it's time to give up this search. Maybe I'm not supposed to have the things I think I should have."
There you have it, everybody. There's a great opportunity for you to check out that book. There's an audio version of that, as Daniel just said. You can get that through Audible or Amazon. You can go to the website to buy the book and all that kind of stuff. And great job on the book there, Daniel. Great job. I know it takes time. I know it takes time to do those things. Audiobooks are tough. Right?
I fought it for a long time, but finally I sat down and did it. And Anna also read it, Anna translated it into Spanish and read it in Spanish as well. So it's available in Spanish.
Fantastic. Good job, Anna. Yeah, I know that you've been doing some Clubhouse rooms actually with in Spanish, which is great. And you're holding space for people to connect with the Mosaic that way, which is awesome. Hey, listen, I'm doing this only because in the future, if it's only through Clubhouse, you can at least picture like, okay, there really is a guy that's actually playing. Because sometimes we're thinking like, is that like a recording? But it's definitely not a recording, everybody, just so you know. It's definitely not that. So I'm going to play this song, Daniel, and here's why, my friend. I have a couple in my mind. This one has been jumping out at me since the last day or two for some reason. I don't know why. It's not from your favorite time period of the 60s, just so you know, but there's some great one-liners in here that speak to some of the things that you've been talking about, and it's just about trying to and I'm speaking to me as well, just what Anna was saying, just trying to chase things down and figure things out, and then just recognizing your gift, and then being a vessel for what your gift is, and all those kinds of things. So for me, it's probably about being quiet and being still, just trying to be still. And I think if I ever learn how to be still, maybe the messages will come through a little stronger. So I hope that resonates with you or other people as well. So there's a couple one-liners in here about, I really resonate with this. And yeah, I just want to play this song for you. I hope you enjoy it. Credit due where credit due. A little U2 for you. A little U2 for you. Woke up from where she was, lying still. Gotta do something about where we're going. Step on a steam train, step out of the driving rain, maybe run from the darkness in the night, singing la 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 da day, la 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 da day, la la da day. Sweet the sin and the bitter taste in my mouth. I see 7 towers, but only see one way out. You gotta cry without weeping, and talk without speaking, and scream without raising your voice. I took the poison from the poison stream, and then I floated out of here, singing a la 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 da day, a la 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 da day, a la day. She runs through the streets, her eyes painted red, under black belly clouds in the rain. And through the doorway, she brings me white golden pearls, stolen from the sea. She is raging, and the storm blows up in her eyes. She will suffer the needles chill, running to stand still. Stand still. Run, needles chill. We're running to stand still. There you go. Hey, he's got the, yeah, I love it. I love it. Get your microphones on there. Get your microphones on. There you are.
Why don't we do a show like that? Like, why don't, like, you got to come on tour with me, man.
I want to go to the Peter concert. The Peter Clark
I want a
concert.
Peter concert. Me too.
Hey,
let's have you in the room and just sing.
Oh, no, listen, I super appreciate that. Your room is for a special reason, but listen, I love being a part of it whenever I can, and I just appreciate you holding.
Oh my God, that music is so beautiful.
Yeah, that's thanks to obviously Bono and The Edge and you too. So it's a beautiful song, Running to Stand Still. And, you know, there's some words in there that just resonate with me. You know, you got to cry without weeping, talk without speaking, you know, scream without raising your voice. Super powerful messaging.
Huge.
And I know you connect with music, and that's why I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to share that with you.
My wife is she loves music, but we were born in different centuries, not centuries, different, what, 10-year period, decades. It seems like centuries, but different decades.
It's all good.
And so the music she likes is different than the music I like, but she likes some of the music I like. But I just love what you just played.
Oh, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. And again, you know, I love the era. Listen, you have no idea right now. There's at least 100 songs from the 60s that could come out of that right now for you.
Wow.
I love that as well. It's just, there's a different essence. I spoke about that once in your room that I know you grew up with that because it was super communal back then. I mean, music brings people together today as well, but there's something magical about back then when there was a real intention behind gathering people to have a statement, and the music just resonated that way. So I knew that would resonate with you. And Anna, listen, you just sent me your favorite song list, and it's good to go.
No, I love all these songs, and remember the Mystic. It's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, I had a couple. Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't. How can you go wrong with the fine young lad from Ireland, little brown-eyed girl? Listen, you can play brown-eyed girl, and I've done it. You can do it in Sydney, Australia. You can do it all around the world, and people just everyone recognizes that. So, listen, I cannot tell you how much First of all, I'm so sorry for taking up so much of your time.
It's our honor.
Thank you.
I cannot thank you enough for joining me on this show. And as I've told people in the past, Daniel, just so you know, I get every now and then a interesting comments once and twice and say, Peter, your shows are just way too long. And I'm like, you know what? I can't go where I want to go, and I can't express myself and feel what I want to feel from somebody in 10, 12 minutes. I'm sorry for anyone who thinks that you can do that. I love this, and I love using this to amplify, people that are doing some amazing things out there, and that's what you both are doing. So I just want to thank you so much for just keep doing what you're doing, and it's an honor and pleasure to meet you guys, and hopefully we'll continue doing it, and more importantly, we'll share that whiskey and wine and music in person one day.
Absolutely, and without a question,
I appreciate that. Well, listen, whoever is watching this, again, if you watch it on replay, even if you watch it in snippets, you don't watch it for 30 minutes and then go grab a beer and come back. There's so much insight in here that Daniel and Anna, thank you so much for sharing your space and energy with so many people. I know Michael and Asha, of course, would certainly echo what I'm saying right now, but I know that there's at least one person out there that needed to hear and feel that, and you did an amazing job. I certainly felt it, and again, I think you have a very special gift, and I appreciate you sharing it with us today. That's for sure.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you for your heart and for your platform and for what you do and for showing up and sharing your gift with us. I always joke, if I could take something to heaven, it would be music.
Oh, yes. Listen, I feel the same way about music. It's just, because I just know I've experienced it, so I can only speak from my experience. So as to stay in Daniel's energy.
Yeah.
I can just point to 80-90% of my life in general of magical moments of meeting people and experiencing people simply because of a guitar or a piano or something where you just go, oh, I love that, and then all of a sudden you're connected. Languages, religion, time zones, everything. I've experienced it, and I just know that you're absolutely right. That's the closest thing to probably heaven of languaging we can get is music.
Yeah,
incredibly powerful. So thank you guys so much. Thank you everyone for watching us. Remember the Mosaic, go to the clubhouse, look up the Mosaic, themosaiconline.com. Of course, look up Anna. It's Anna Laura Levin. I was going to say Levin. I kept on saying Levin. It's Levin, just so everyone knows. Of course, if you can't get enough of Daniel, he has like 100 podcasts out there. So go to the website. There's 100 podcasts out there. We didn't even talk about your podcasts. I mean, come on, there's so much to talk about. Super appreciate that. As we leave, I just want to tell you, Daniel, I normally play a little video going out. And it looks like you're kicked out, but you guys are there. So stick around. I just want to say thank you. And I want to show you one beautiful face that hopefully that will resonate with you. And then go have that whiskey and wine. Everybody else, thank you for being here. Appreciate all your comments. And we're going to go into to those comments and respond to I'm going to respond to you. And I appreciate you being here. Share and like and share the message of the Mosaic, if you will. Daniel, I'm going to play you out with a video. I've played it before, but I just want you to see it because it's all about kindness, giving back, and compassion. And this is a beautiful ball that was given to me by a young little soul over in Rwanda. When I was in Rwanda, he was looking for a pen. All he wanted was a pen, and so he was teaching me Kinyarwandan, Daniel and Anna. He was teaching me his language all day, and he kept on saying Vic, and I didn't understand what he was saying.
Vic.
And Vic for him was a pen. And so the translator, I found one and I said, he keeps asking me for a Vic. And what is that? He said, what's a pen? I said, oh, okay, got it. So I found him a pen, gave it to him because, of course, going to school there, if you get a pencil, you're real lucky. But, of course, if you get a pen, it's like education, right? You're like, wow. So you wanted a pen. Got him a pen. 10, 15 minutes later, he comes back and he gives me this. And this is his soccer ball. And I was like, I was just overwhelmed. And I said, well, I asked the translator, I said, what's he doing? He said, he just wanted to trade. He wanted to give you something. He didn't want it.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. I was overwhelmed. Now, I don't show overwhelmed here because I had to get on camera for a second. But, again, I said, and of course you can't say no. It's about the reciprocity of giving. So he he found joy in giving it to me. So I keep this here, not too far from me. It keeps me nice and grounded. When I feel a little bit too big, humble right there. I hope you enjoy that, and we'll see you on the other side. Everybody else, you know how this always ends. Just be kind out there, everybody. Just be kind. That's all you have to do is be kind.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, everybody. See you, Daniel.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I found a new friend, and we traded a pen for this soccer ball. And I thought it was really nice because I just gave him the pen because he's been helping me throughout the day to learn 𝘄𝗶𝘁𝗵 and he's a very smart boy, knows English very well, very good English. Yes. So I gave him a pen, which they love pens, and 10-15 minutes later he came back and gave me a ball for the trade. So I just thought that was really, really cool because I didn't ask for it.
Let's see ball.
So
𝗚𝗂𝗏𝗃𝗏.
Yeah, pita. Yeah, so he gave me that, so I'm really, really happy about that, and I'll be bringing this back to Canada. And yeah, I thought it was awesome. He's a really, really, really clever kid. He's going to be an English teacher.
Professor.
Yeah.
Anglais.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you.